and welcome. Just a very short video just to introduce my 1301 comp, my Beretta 1301 comp. Recent edition, started taking up practical shooting. Absolutely love it, it's great, it's competitive, you just can't get enough of it once you're out in the range. You know, and although I never thought I'd take it seriously, it's all about time, so wherever we can save time on the stage is great, and this shotgun certainly helps do that. So what have we got? Beretta 1301 tactical, comp. In this example, it's got an extension, a proper Beretta extension magazine on it, giving you an extra 5 rounds. So it's 9+1, 9 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. But you can fit 10 in if you're using a 67mm cartridge. So you know, some advantages to looking for those. Nice grips, nice stippling on the grips, very tight on your hands, no chance of slipping with this, and it's quite sore actually, especially when it's cold, but you're not going to drop the gun either. It's pretty good for that. Just having a look at the system itself, so it uses the blink system. Just cock that back, uses the blink system, reputedly the fastest action there is for any semi-auto out there. Certainly I can't pull the trigger fast enough to beat the gun. Which is a good thing, so you know, you can be rest assured that this is going to cycle when you need it to. Certainly I haven't had any problems with it, and it runs smoothly. Bolt release at the front here, I'll just push that down, that fires that forward, and that does come forward quite quickly, so you've got to keep your fingers away from that. However, it also has a dual action for it as well, so as we lift this down at the back, underneath here, I don't know if we can see that under there, we've got the catch lever that normally on a semi-auto you would push in to get the cartridges out of the mag. But in this example, if you use it and just hold it back, and I'll show you this in a second with a couple of dummy cartridges, you just hold it back, it will just keep firing out cartridges. So it takes some getting used to, and I have a little technique where I just keep my finger in there like that and then clip it back, and it takes out one at a time, and that's ideal. The button actually lifts, the button at the back here actually lifts one cartridge onto the lifter for you, and again we'll show you that shortly. So you might notice here that on the new 1301 comps, newer versions, these latest versions have a single carrier, so there's no cutouts at the front, there's no welding to do in there. If you had, like the old ones had a little cutout at the front, there's no welding to do, pretty similar to what you have to do with the Benellis, you don't have to do with this. And also you'll notice that the actual port is a lot larger. Certainly quad loading, I don't have any problems getting them into the get the cartridges actually into the chamber itself. But if you do have a quick look at that, you can see it's wearing at the front due to the quad loading. So I can see why people do cut these out, and I'll probably get this cut out as well to get the port opened up a little bit more. So where it's wearing there, I'll sort of take that out a bit further. Clearly that's going to help me out. So at the moment it's not a problem, but I'm sure I can be a bit faster loading. Good trigger mechanism on the system, so we know that's empty already. No problems with that. Nice light trigger, and obviously a nice visual safety catch system as well on the gun itself. So just to show you the loading port and what happens with that, put a couple of cartridges into it. We'll just load them as a dual. Go in nice and smooth, okay? If we want to get those out, if we want to lift one onto the lifter, all we need to do is push that there, and you'll see this happening now. It'll lift one onto the lifter. So there we go, we've got one round onto the lifter, we've still got one round of the magazine in this example. If we pull that back now, it loads that into the chamber. Now the system's quite unique, where if I rack this back a couple of times, it won't keep loading cartridges in. It works by proper recoil, so there's a mechanism that actually only loads where there's a proper recoil on its way out, so where gases come out through the system, then it will obviously work the loads. Just to show you that, if I just rack this back and eject, get that out of there, you can see straight away the lifter hasn't got a new cartridge on it, and there isn't one in the chamber, so it doesn't take it back out. Taking cartridges out of the chamber itself, out of the mag tube, quite simple. Just to press that down, and like I said, I like to have a finger in there, but you can use, rather than use the actual clip at the back to do this like you would on normal semi-autos, if I just push that back there now, It actually ejects the cartridge for me, which is quite useful. And you can keep doing that when you have one or more cartridges. So quite an interesting feature. Other than that, really the only other thing to show you, you've got the rib at the top. There is normally a little bead here which lines up with the bead at the front. I've actually taken that out, found that quite distracting actually shooting, so just have the normal standard bead at the top end, and I've taken the middle rib bead out, so you do have an alignment bead in there. You can fit a rail at the top. There's 4 holes at the top there to put a Picatinny on if you want, and put that into a different class. That's entirely up to you. But that's my 1301 comp. I hope you enjoyed that. Very loose, very quick, but you know, there's plenty on YouTube on these anyway. Thanks for watching.